Howdy Google Ads fans, and welcome back. Let's talk about price extensions, which is my second favorite type of extension outside of promotion extensions. I say it's my favorite because I love all the extra information that you can get in it, but I still would say site link extensions reign supreme with the amount of options you're giving the user, allowing them to self-identify what they want to do, giving more space, but price extensions are fantastic. We quickly looked at a price extension before, but just take a look at, again, at this website, Frames by Mail. Under here, wood picture frames from 1368. If I click on more, I get a couple more additional products. I could go and click on the specific link. I could see pricing. Again, similar to promotion extensions, you're creating this pseudo shopping ad experience inside text ads, which is fantastic. And look how much information I can get about a product before Frames by Mail ever gets charged a cent from Google for the advertising campaigns. It's really fantastic. So let's go into Google Ads and set up price extensions. So I'm going to twirl that down, see my familiar window, and click New Price Extension. There's a few different options we need to configure. So first we configure our language, which of course we'll keep in English for us, and the type of price extension, the top level category of what we're doing, of what we're going to be listing. So by default it shows brands, but I also have events. So let's say I'm a company that puts on events or seminars or shows or concerts. Then I might say, these are the events that are coming up. Locations, maybe I'm a real estate broker and I service different locations. Maybe I want to list a neighborhood because I'm a spa or a masseuse or something like that, and I travel, or my company services a number of different neighborhoods, and I might have separate pricing per neighborhood, right? So that's another reason why I might use neighborhoods. Again, product categories, that's an obvious one. So let's say for Poppin, I might use product categories, desk chairs starting from this amount, file cabinet starting from this price, and it's really good for people to see price. That's the beauty of price extensions. That's the number one thing, because you're allowing people to either realize that it's too expensive for me, like maybe this product is too expensive, it's not really what I'm looking for, or like this is much cheaper, it's clearly not what I'm looking for, right? So if a person could see the price of a product or the range of prices before they click, you might actually save a lot of money. In the past, way back when I first recorded this course, I used to tell people like a really great technique was to put the price of the product in the headline. And it was true, and it's still sort of true, because that allowed you to deter people from clicking on your ad that are not going to be customers. Again, the point is not to just get a high click-through rate. The point is not to just get clicks on your ads. The point is to get clicks from people who are going to ultimately generate profit, or get clicks from people who are likely to ultimately generate a profit. So if a person is searching for office chairs, and let's say I'm searching, and I know that I want a really good office chair. It's going to cost me $600. And I see an ad showing me like $3,000 executive leather chairs, then I don't want that. I'm not going to click on that ad. I might also see an ad for Staples offering a $70 out-of-the-box office chair, and I know I don't want that. So in both cases, the expensive furniture company and Staples doesn't have to pay for my click because they were smart enough to show me the price. But now with promotion and specifically price extensions, you actually have the opportunity to specifically show pricing for products and product categories and for all different sorts of categories in the ad without having to use that space in the headline. So product tiers, service categories, maybe again, I'm a house cleaning company, or I'm a spa, or I'm a gym, and I offer different service categories that start at different prices, service tiers of maybe the bronze, gold. Maybe I'm a company that offers web hosting, right? Or I'm a company that offers website templates. And I have different tiers. I have the bronze package, I have the gold package, I have the premium package, different pricing. Or just overall services, right? I offer consulting, I offer graphic design, I offer advertising management, any service business could all, take our client in Las Vegas that offers the hydration therapy. So I might offer services for beauty, for hangover, for skin treatment, and then I could say the pricing starting for each one of those. And that's actually a price extension we use for that client, and it works out very well. And we've seen a lift in click-through rate and a decrease in cost per click as we've added on price extensions over time. So you set up a header. So let's say for Poppin office chairs, we're going to we have our brands and our call-out extensions, or we had maybe our structured snippet extension was for brands, but we want to really focus on price here. So maybe I would focus on product categories, because we want to identify Poppin is in a space. It operates in a vertical that has a wide range of pricing, right? You have really cheap office furniture, you have extraordinarily expensive office furniture. So it's great to carve out who we are. So I'm going to choose product categories, and then I'm going to choose my currency. We're in US dollars, price qualifier. So we're gonna do from. Because we're choosing price categories, we have a range of products in each category, so it'll be from a certain price. You could write up to, average, or no qualifier, just the actual price of a service or a service tier or a package or a neighborhood or whatever that might be. So our price qualifier will be from, and now we're gonna go and add our first item. So I'm gonna say something like office chairs. I like to write in title case when I'm doing headers. Office chairs from $2.99, and I could choose units in case I needed to do that. It's not applicable for us, but let's say I was talking about consulting, or I was talking about a spa appointment, or I'm talking about something else that is hourly or daily, weekly, monthly, nightly. If I'm a hotel and I'm offering, the cost of a hotel room, I would be per night from $2.99 per night. But for us, it's just from $2.99 for office chairs, because it's obvious that it's just for the office chair. I could write a description. Choose from a range of colors. Oh, it's too much. Colorful, fun, and comfortable, something like that. Or color, fun, comfort. Okay, so you don't need to be overly concerned with your description for your price extensions, because most of the time the descriptions don't actually show up, and you don't need to really have so much copy for that. And then I would have a final URL. So I would go back to Poppin, and I would find my furniture, and I would find my office chairs top level category, because that's where I'd be sending them. And I'd simply paste that in, and I could choose a separate mobile URL if you had a separate mobile URL, but we don't need to do that because we don't have a separate mobile URL, and most websites don't. And then I would add another price extension item. So I might do something like file cabinets from $99. I could write a description. I'm not gonna do that now just for the sake of time. I'll find my file cabinets top level domain, and I'll paste it in this price extension for, I actually had to refresh this, for file cabinets, right? We said from $99. I'll make another one. We'll call this, let's see, maybe we'll do tables. And I'll say office tables from $5.99. If that's what it was, I could write a description, put in a final URL for conference table, or maybe I'll take that should be conference tables. And then if I only want to do 3 or 4, I could delete additional ones. So I could delete one that they give me in default. I could add one more. If I deleted 2, I could always add a price extension item. And then that will give me the option to create another header. And let's say I want to do corporate branding and find the corporate branding top level. Corporate branding from, let's say it's $19 minimum order, put a final URL, and great. So now I could twirl these all up, and watch what I could do. First, I want to preview and show you what it looks like as a preview. So pretty neat. On a mobile device, this is what it would look like. I could scroll through. I have a description, I have a headline, I have a display URL, right? And look at this massive amount of real estate. And I could click each one and go to that section of the site. It's like super, super helpful. When you get a price extension, you're almost guaranteed to get the click because it's so useful. You have so much information. A person could really identify if this is what they want. And if we look at what it might look like on a desktop, again, lots of information. And I was showing you a couple seconds ago a price extension for pictureframes.com or frames by mail, frames direct, and it looked a little bit different. Google's constantly testing and changing minor adjustments to the format of how certain extensions actually show up, but this is a basic idea of what it might look like. So it's it's a really serious expansion of the size of your ad. It gives really useful information. And now that I think about it more, honestly, I was prepared to double down on my site link extensions being the best. This might be even better because you are also giving people the option of going to a specific area of the site. It's organized data. You could have a description. You have a specific price. You could write whether they're from, to. You could put a whole bunch. People could scroll through. It's a really, really good type of extension. You should use it. And again, this is the type of extension, unlike location extensions, any business could use it. You guys, I was like going through some of my clients and I could not think of a single client that we cannot use a price extension for. Because everyone sells something. And maybe not in every campaign. You might have a campaign that's generating newsletter signups or whatever it is, but everybody ultimately sells something, and you could almost always fit what you sell into one of these predetermined type qualifiers. And if it's not perfect, then you could do it, like, brands, it could be your own label, it could be whatever, like services is such a broad category, it could be anything. So it's really, really powerful extension. One cool thing we could do is we could flip this around. So let's say I want corporate branding, I want to push corporate branding, I could drag that and drag it up. And if I look at preview again, corporate branding is going to come first. So it'll have the most visual prominence. And then I could go back in order of sort of which services or which neighborhoods or which events I want to promote, and I can drag and reorder them. So you don't need to worry about setting them up in the order you want them in right away. So the URL options, again, we have the tracking template if you want to add specific tracking from a service outside of Google Analytics. If you're using Google Analytics, which most of you are, you don't need to worry about the tracking template. I'll touch base on the tracking template in a couple lectures. And then advanced options, again, I could have start and end dates to my price extensions and specific schedules, as we've seen with almost all the other ad extension formats. So that's price extensions. Absolutely use them, implement them, and make as many of them as you can, because again, anything you could do to get an edge on your competition is worthwhile to do. And these types of ad extensions are certainly very, very important in having larger ads, increasing your click-through rate, increasing your quality score, and letting users determine whether or not you're the right vendor or company or brand to explore today. Because remember, if they choose that they want to click on your ad or click on an extension or click on a site link, it's going to cost you money. So you want to make sure that that money is being spent as efficiently as possible. I look forward to seeing you guys very soon in the next lecture, where we talk about finally ad rotation. This is it for extensions. We went through in detail all the different extensions that they offer, and we'll talk about briefly ad rotation, and we'll be just about done with creating our very first campaign. And when you go and do it, the next time is going to take you 5 minutes, not a few hours. I look forward to seeing you guys very soon in a couple seconds.